We have completed 20th entry. Now let's see what is next for us. After 20 we have 21st entry. At first step we will mention the date 21 over here. Let's see what 21 is saying. Paid office rent by check. You have paid any expense by check. It means to whom you will issue that check, he will present that check to your bank account, will withdraw amount from your bank. Amount present in bank would be decreased. Bank is your asset, mean asset is decreased. Decrease in asset should be mentioned on credit side, so you will mention name of bank on credit side as your bank account has been decreased. For what you have issued that check, you have paid the rent. I will show you. You have paid office rent by check. Office rent is an expense and debit side is fixed for expense, so you will write office rent on debit side as it's your expense side is debit. So in this way 21st entry has been completed, and in 21st entry now you will see the amount, how much amount of rent has been paid. 21, it is 6,000, look like it's 6,000, so you will mention 6,000. As alignment is not absolute accurate in the book, you will write 6,000 on debit side and same amount would be posted on the credit side. Entry number 21 has been completed. Now you will see what entry number 23 is saying. First stage first, you will mention the date over here. And now let's see entry number 23. Received a check from Ismat. Ismat is a name. Received a check from Ismat 65, full settlement 66, and cash the check over the counter. Okay, receive a check from Ismat in full settlement of his account 6600 and cash the check over the counter. What does that mean? Cash the check over the counter. For example, it's a banking hours within which you have received the check and you immediately gone to the bank and presented that check to the bank account of Ismat, and in same branch you have received that cash immediately. So ultimate result is what? You have received the amount. If you are receiving that amount, means cash in hand is increasing. Cash in hand is your asset. Asset is increasing. Increase in asset should be debited. So you will mention name of cash on debit side. This is first. From whom you have received this check? 23rd entry. You have received this check from Ismat. As I have mentioned, Ismat is a name. He was your account receivable, the person from whom amount was receivable. Account receivables are asset. As you have received the amount, it means he is no more your account receivable, no more your asset. Asset is decreased. Decrease in asset should be mentioned on credit side. So you will mention Ismat on credit side as he was. What word I am using? Was. He was your account receivable. Account receivable are assets, and you have received amount for Ismat. It means he is no more your asset. Assets are decreasing. Decrease in asset should be mentioned on credit side. So you have mentioned Ismat on credit side. But there is another element. The amount of check which was encashed was 6,500. So what you will do, you will write 6,500 in front of check or cash. Though you have received the check, but you have immediately encashed that check from the bank of your debtor. 6,500 you have received, and there is a second amount, full settlement of his account. Mean Ismat was liable to pay 6,600. You were supposed to receive 6,600 from Ismat, so write 6,600 in front of Ismat. If you will apply a simple accounting principle, debit and credits are always equal. But here there is deficiency. Amount which is mentioned in the book, we have written exactly the same amount, 6,500 in front of cash. 6,600 is full settlement, and we have written the same amount in front of Ismat, but still amount is deficient on debit side. How is it possible? Now try to understand. Total amount was receivable 6,600. But instead of 6,600, you have allowed him to pay 6,500 because you were the person who is receiving the amount, and the person who will receive will decide or declare or will allow to receive less or more amount. Since you are receiving less, that means you have allowed Ismat to pay less. When you are allowing, it means you are giving discount. Discount giving means you have allowed discount. Discount allowed is an expense. So you will write discount allowed on debit side because it's an expense for us. And how much discount? Amount has not been mentioned in the book. So what we will do, total amount which was receivable was 6600, but you have received only 6500. What does that mean? You have received less. The difference would be considered as your discount, although it has not been mentioned in the question, but you will consider it as your discount. In this way, entry number 23 has been completed. Now let's see what is next entry, and next entry is 24. What it is saying: bought furniture from Lahore and paid 20,000 in cash and 14,000 by check. So you have received furniture and you have paid in two ways. You may write in two entries or you may write in single entry. It's up to you. It's your option. After 23, entry number was 24. We are mentioning the date first. So what had happened, you had bought the furniture, half of the amount or some part of the amount has been paid in cash and some part of the amount has been paid in shape of check. Okay, but ultimate result is what you have purchased the furniture. When you are buying furniture, furniture is coming in, which is your asset. Asset is increasing, increase in asset should be debited. So you will mention name of furniture on debits as it is your asset. You have bought furniture, you have paid in shape of cash and you have paid in shape of check. There are two modes of payment. First mode of payment is cash. When you are paying cash, it means cash in hand is decreasing. Decrease in cash in hand means decrease in asset. Decrease in asset should be mentioned on credit side. So you will mention cash on credit side first. And secondly, you have issued the check. The person from whom you have purchased the furniture, you will issue this check to that shopkeeper. The shopkeeper will go to your bank, will present that check and amount would be drawn from your bank account. Ultimately, amount present in your bank account would be decreased. Decrease in bank account means decrease in asset. Decrease in asset should be mentioned on credit side. So you will mention bank account on credit side. Now let's see in 24 how much cash is paid and how much was amount of check. Cash was paid 20,000. Here it has been mentioned 20,000 in cash. So you will write 20,000 in front of cash. Here we have 20,000 in front of cash, and what is next amount? And he is saying 14,000 by check. So amount which would be withdrawn from the bank is 14,000. So you will mention in front of bank account, but the price of furniture has not been mentioned in the in our transaction. So what we will do, we will apply a simple accounting principle. Debit side and credit side will always be equal. On credit side we have two amounts. What we will do, we will sum up these amounts and will write this sum on debit side. What two amounts are present over there? 20,000 plus 14,000. These are the two amounts present on credit side. Same amount should be present on the debit side. For this you have done the sum of these two amounts and mentioned on debit side, with which what had happened, debit and credit sides are equal. Though amount of furniture was not mentioned in the question, but indirectly we know that total payment was made 20,000, 14,000. It means total payment was 34,000, and we have understood that value of that furniture would be 34,000. In this way, 24th entry has been completed. Now let's see what is for 26th entry. Settled by check Salim's account. Settled by check Salim's account. For this purpose, you will have to see if Salim is present in any of the above entry. So we cannot see Salim's name in above entries. So this is independent entry. What happened? Settled by check Salim's account. So what you have done, you have paid a check to Salim to settle the account. When you will pay this check to your account payable, he will go to your bank account and will present that check and amount would be withdrawn. If amount would be withdrawn from the bank, it means bank account would be decreased. Bank account is your asset. Asset is decreasing. Decrease in asset should be mentioned on credit side. So you will mention name of bank on credit side. To whom you have given this check? Read it again. Settled by check Salim's account. So Salim was the person to whom amount was payable. He was your account payable. As you have paid, no matter whether it was cash or check, you have paid. If you have paid to Salim, who was account payable, after payment he would not be considered your account payable. Account payable are decreasing. He is no more your liability. Liability has been decreased. Decrease in liability should be mentioned on debit side. So you will mention Salim's name on debit side. Though he was your account payable, and account payables are your liabilities, and liabilities should be mentioned on credit side. But why we are writing account payable on debit side? Because we have already paid. When you have paid means he is no more your account payable. Liability decrease in liability should be mentioned on debit side. So you have mentioned name of Salim on debit side. We haven't written the date. Let us write the date. It was 26, so you will write date over here, 26. So you have understood, we have settled Salim's account by check. We have paid the check, means our bank account would be decreased and our liability has been decreased, which was Salim as an account payable. Decrease in liability is to be written on debit side. Let's see how much amount for 26. It is mentioned like it's 10,000, so you will write 10,000 over here on debit side, and same amount you are going to write on credit side, 10,000 and 10,000. What happened next is your entry number 27. You will write date first, 27. Excuse me, it should be 27. Date has been mentioned. Now what happened on 27? Our check to Salim, this is our 27th entry. Our check to Salim was dishonored. So it's little surprising for any accountant how our check can be dishonored. If you were having an idea, if it was in your knowledge the amount present in bank account is sufficient, the check should not be dishonored, because owner knows the amount of your bank balance. Or in this way, when you do know that amount is present, check was not supposed to be dishonored. If it is dishonoring, there is something really upsetting. Anyhow, we are related with transaction, we will follow it and we will not be discussing any moralities regarding this. Our check to Salim was dishonored. It means in first entry, when you have paid to Salim and Salim had gone to the bank and bank had refused to pay and the check has been dishonored, where Salim will go? Salim will return to you and will ask that amount has not been received, and he will demand you to pay again. Salim is again your account payable. Your liability has returned and increased. Increase in liability should be mentioned on credit side. So you will mention Salim on credit side, and he is now your account payable in real again. And when you have issued that check, you have supposed it that Salim would have gone to the bank and amount would have been drawn from the bank, and you have decreased your bank account. After dishonoring, you have come to know that amount has not been drawn from the bank. It means what you have credited to the bank is now wrong. You will reverse this entry, as you are informed that after dishonoring, amount present in the bank account has not been decreased. So you will reverse that, credit side of the bank again will debit. In other words, whenever you will issue a check to your creditor, you will be doing Salim to bank, and if it is dishonored, just reverse the entry, bank to Salim. You can memorize it, but I have told you the reason and the logic. Salim was your account payable. You have cancelled his name in the list of account payable after payment, but due to dishonoring of the check, he is still your account payable, still liability is credit. So you have named Salim on credit side. So I'm giving you the logic as well, and you can memorize it. Like if you have issued the check, you will generalize Salim to bank. After dishonoring, you will reverse this entry and will write bank to Salim. Amount would not be mentioned in the 27th entry. Now you can see there is no amount after 10,000. We automatically understand when you were liable to pay 10,000 and he had not received amount from the bank, so you will be still liable to pay 10,000 to your account payable Salim. So you will mention 10,000 on credit side and same amount would be written on your debit side. In this way, entry number 27 has been completed. What is next? It is 30. So you will write next date as 30. And in 30th entry, we will see what is being said. Deposited into the bank excess cash over 21,400. What does that mean? It means you will calculate the cash, and cash in hand would be checked, and you will see how much present more than that of 21,400. That cash would be deposited into the bank. For the time being, we will generalize it and we will discuss amount later. Deposited into the bank, amount has been deposited into the bank means amount present in bank account would be increased. Increase in bank account mean increase in asset. Increase in asset should be debited, so you will debit the bank account. How bank account has been increased? Because you have paid some amount into the bank. When you are paying, that means cash in hand. Cash in hand is decreasing. Decreasing cash in hand means decrease in asset. Decrease in asset should be mentioned on credit side. So you will mention cash on credit side because it is going out. Now the matter is how much amount you will write. He is saying amount more than 24,000, amount more than 21,400. How would we know how much is amount which is more than 21,000? For that purpose, you will have to take some steps. And what are those steps? You will not write the amount over here. Before that entry number 30, you will post all the entries present in journal into the cash book, and then you will calculate the balance of cash. There you will see how much amount is present as a cash or cash in hand. If cash is more than the amount which is mentioned in the book 21,400, above or the amount which is more than 21,400 would be deposited into the bank, and then you will write that amount over here. I will let you know after posting these entries. So you will have to wait how much amount is required to be written over here. But for the time being, you just understand that we are skipping this entry. We are skipping the amount to be written on debit or credit side. We will wait until unless all entries are being posted over here in cash book. Hopefully you have understood. Our second step is being started. We will post these journal entries into cash book, but we are related with only three elements: discount, cash and bank. If discount, cash and bank are present in journal entries, we will pick them and will post in cash book. Rule is very simple, as we have discussed on first part of our question, where we have decided that if cash is debit, we will post on debit side. Debit do debit, credit do credit, but only three elements: cash, bank and discount. So first entry, let's see. First entry is having two elements, cash and balance, but we are associated with cash only. No other item would be posted in the cash book. If you do have balance, if you have sales, if you have Hasib, all these elements would not be posted. We are going to post only three elements: cash, discount and bank. In first entry, cash and balance, two elements are present, but we are associated with cash only, and that cash is being debited. So we will go to the debit side of the cash and we'll write the amount 80,000 over here. After writing the amount, see the reference. Reference means whatever is written on the opposite side. Cash was debited, and what is written on opposite side? To balance. So you will write to balance in particular column. Now mention the date, which is 1A. So you will be writing 1A in date column. In this way, entry has been completed, as there was only one element which was required to be posted. 1A is completed. Mark it as it has been done. Why we are marking it? Why we are changing the color of date? Because when you have so many entries in your question, so possibility of skipping would be there. When you will mark it as it has been done, it means you will be satisfied that entry has not been skipped on the first hand. Secondly, sometimes when you have a large number of entries, some entries can be skipped. It would be possible, and some entries can be entered or posted twice. Double error is also possible. Skipping is also possible, but when you will mark it as it has been done, it would not be repeated. So chance of skipping ended, chance of repetition ended. That is why we are using this color. Hopefully you people have understood. Now we are at entry number 1B, where there are two elements, balance and bank, but we are associated with only one element, which is bank. Bank is credited 20,000. You will go to the credit side of the bank and will write 20,000 over here. And now see the reference, which is balance. So you will write in particulars balance with an additional word of y. Y would be used as coefficient. Now see the date, which is 1b. So put date over here, 1b. What is next? 1b has been completed. Since there was only one element and that element bank has been posted, entry is completed, mark it as it has been done. Next entry 2. There are two elements, but we are associated with only one element, and that is cash. Cash is debited by 50,000. So you will go to the debit side of the cash, will write 50,000 over here. And now see in second entry what is reference, that is to sale. Whatever is written on the opposite side, you will use it as reference. Opposite side means cash was debit. So what was written on credit side? To sales. So to sales is being used as a reference. What is date? That is 2. So you will be writing 2 in date column. In second entry, there was only one element, which was cash, and now has been posted, means entry is completed. Mark it as it has been done. Okay. Next entry is entry number 3, where there are two elements, as both elements are associated with the cash book. So you will post them step by step. First step is to see bank. Bank is debited 60,000. You will go to the debit side of the bank and will write 60,000 in debit column of the bank. Now see the reference of this entry. At opposite side cash has been written, so you will write to cash in particular column. See the date, which is 3. Write 3 date in date column. Half part of this entry has been completed. We were supposed to write 60,000 on debit side of the bank, and you have posted. Second part is cash, which is credited 60,000. So you will go to the credit side of the cash column and will write 60,000 over here. Now see what's the date, that is 3. So you will post 3 over here, and you were also needed to see the reference of 60,000. Reference is bank. You will write by bank over here. So in this entry, what we have done, 60,000 is being debited and 60,000 is credited in the cash column. 60,000 is debited in the bank column. Dates has been mentioned. Both elements of this transaction has been posted to the ledger. Entry is completed, so mark it as it has been done. Next entry is 5. There are two elements, but we are associated with only one element, which is bank. Bank is being credited over here. Entry number 5, bank is credited by 6,000. So you will go to the credit side of the bank and will write 6,000 over here. Now see its reference, which is Hasib. Okay, and write Hasib over here. And see the date, which is 5. So you will mention date 5 over here. In fifth entry, there was only one element, which was bank, and it has been posted. Entry number 5 completed. Mark it as it has been done. Next entry is 6, where there are two elements. Only one element we are associated with is bank. Bank is debited with 6,000. Go to the debit side of the bank and write 6,000 in debit column of the bank. Now see the reference. Opposite side Hasib is written. So you will write to Hasib over here. Read out the date, which is 6. So put 6 in the date column. In this way, entry number 6 has been completed. There was only one element and that has been posted. Entry completed. Mark it as it has been done. Next entry is 12, where there are two elements, but only one element is associated with cash book, which is bank. Bank is debited 4,000. So you will go to the debit side of the bank and will write 4,000 over here. Now see 4,000's reference, that is dividend. So you will write dividend over here. And now see the date of dividend, which is 12. Post date over here. All right. Dividend is posted on debit side of the bank. It has been completed. There was only one element, bank. Bank has been posted. It means 12th entry has been completed. Mark it as it has been done. Now we are At 14th entry, there are two elements, but we are associated with only one element. Bank is debited by 200. Go to the debit side of the bank and write 200 over here. Now see the reference of 200, which is discount. So you are going to write 2 discount over here. I was actually checking why all amounts are on bank side and checked it. All previous entries 6, 12, 14, 17 all are coming on debit side of the bank. Okay, 200 you have written and you have written the reference, and now it's time to write the date, which is 14. So you will write 14 over here. Alright, 14th entry was having only one element, bank, which was required to be debited. We had debited the bank account in cash book. 14 entry completed. Now mark it as it has been done. We are on 17th entry. There are two elements, but only one element is associated with cash book, which is bank. Bank is debited 9,000. Go to the bank account and write 9,000 on debit side and see its reference, which is Rahman. So you will mention to Rahman in particular column. Now see its date, which is 17. So put 17 over here. In this way, 17th entry has been completed. There was only one element which has been posted. 17, okay. Mark it as it has been done. We are now at 20th entry, where there are two elements, salaries and cash, but we are associated with only one element, which is cash, and cash is credited 80,000. Go to the credit side of the cash and write down 18,000 in credit column of the cash. See its reference. The reference is salaries. So you will write salaries on the particular column with an additional word of by. Now see its date, which is 20. Write down date 20 over here. In 20th entry, there was only one element, cash, and we have posted on credit side. Entry number 20 has been completed. Mark it as it has been done. Now entry number 21, we have two elements, but we are associated with only one element, which is bank, and bank is credited with 6,000. Go to the credit side of the bank and write 6,000 on credit column of the bank. See its reference. The reference is office rent. So you will be writing office rent on particular column with an additional word by office rent. Now see the date, which is 21. Put 21 over here. In this way, 21st entry has been completed. Why? Because there was only one element, that was bank, and we had posted on credit side of the bank of cash book 6,000. Entry 21, okay. Mark it as it has been done. We are on 23rd entry. There are three elements but two elements are associated with cash book, which is cash and discount. We will put step by step. First is cash, which is 6,500. Go to the debit side of the cash book and write down 6,500 over here. Now just see the reference of this entry, which is Ismat. So you will write here 2 Ismat. 2 is coefficient. 2 Ismat right over here. Now see its date, which is 23rd. Put 23rd in the date column. And next entry, same entry, we were having two elements. Cash has been posted. Next is discount, which is also the part of this cash book. Discount is being debited by 100. You can go to the debit side of the discount and you may choose second line and write Ismat and 23 again. But since its reference Ismat and date is same, so you can choose the same line for writing the amount of discount. How much was the discount? It was 100. So you may write the same line. You can write 100 rupees in the same line, because 6,500 and 100 both reference was same to Ismat and date of both elements was same, which is 23. So you may write both amounts in the same line. 23rd entry was having two elements, cash and discount. Both has been posted. 23 is completed. You may mark it as it has been done. Next entry is entry number 24, where there are three elements, furniture, cash and bank, but we are associated with only two elements, cash and bank. These two elements are needed to be posted. We will post them step by step. First element is cash. Cash is credited by 20,000. Go to the credit side of the cash and write 20,000 over here. Now see its reference, which is furniture. Furniture is written on the opposite side of the cash, so you will mention here furniture as your reference. Now see the date, which is 24, so you will be putting 24 in date column. Let's see what is next. In 24th entry there were two elements. We have posted cash on credit side. Now bank is also credited by 14,000, so you will go to the bank side and will write 14,000 over here, or you may choose the same line. Why? Because you can see over here in our entry what is happening. For cash and bank, reference and date is same, so you may choose the same line. 14,000 can be written over here, over here. So you will write in bank column 14,000. It was your option. You may have you were having a chance to write to 14,000 on the next line, with which what was required, you were going to write furniture again and you were going to write 24 again. But since reference and date is same, so it was possible to write 14,000 on the same line. So you may erase 14,000 over here, from here. So both amounts, what I was saying, 14,000, 20,000, we can write in the same line. Azan complete hone de. Alright guys, what I was saying, cash is credited, reference is same furniture, bank is credited, reference is same furniture, date is same for both elements. So what we have done, we have written 20,000 and 14,000 in the same date with a single reference of furniture and single date. Okay. And reason I have informed you, since 23rd entry, since 24th entry was having two element, cash at bank, both had been posted to the cash book. 24th entry is okay and has been completed. Mark it as it has been done. We are now on 26th entry where there are two elements, but we are associated with bank only. Bank is credited by 10,000. Go to the credit side of the bank and write 10,000 over here. Alright, now see the reference of this 10,000, which is Salim. So you will be writing Salim with an additional word of by Salim. Now see the date of this entry, which is 26th. Write down date as 26. 26th entry was having only one element, which was bank, and we have posted bank on credit side. 26 is completed. Mention it as it has been done. Now we are on 27. There are two elements, but we are related with discount, cash and bank only. Here we have the bank, which is debited by 10,000. Go to the debit side of the bank and write down 10,000 in debit column of the bank. Now see its reference. We are on 27th entry. Reference is Salim. Write down to Salim over here. Now see its date, which is 27. Post 27 over here. Alright, and 27th entry was having only one element. Bank has been posted. Entry number 27 completed. It's okay. Now mark it as it has been done. We are on 33. There are two elements, but there is a question mark. We haven't posted the amount over here. And what was the criteria of this amount? As I have mentioned earlier, we will skip this entry and will post all the journal entries into the ledger. Step 1 has been completed. We have posted all of the journal entries in the cash book. Now second step is to calculate the balance present. And how would we calculate the balance? Okay guys, I'm going to share something with you. We were having entry number 6, and after 6 it has been written entry number 12. But what had happened, I was just making the pics of illustration number 5, and what had happened, entry number April 8 was missed. This is your new pic, and you can see that this entry, April 8 entry, was not present in our original pic. So one entry was kept. So we will journalize it. April 8, as it was missed and I had accepted it during the process of taking pic, one entry was kept. So I have shared it with you. It doesn't matter if there is something technically wrong, it should be accepted, and that is why I have shared it with you. April 8, what had happened? We are doing April 8, received a check from Javed. Javed is the name. 12,000 less cash discount 5%. You have received a check. Step number 1 is to make journal entry of receiving the check. So what you will do, you need 3 lines. I'm adding one more line. When you will receive a check, it means what is coming in? Check is your near asset. You will write check on debit side as it's your asset, and asset side is debit. But in accounting, we do not write checks, we write temporarily. We write cash temporarily. Why we are writing cash? Because a check has not been deposited into the bank. We cannot mention name of bank over here. We have just received the check. Check here is just a reference. You may write it, or you can erase it as well. We have written check as a reference. What you have received a check, from whom you have received this check? The person's name is Javed. Javed was the person from whom amount was receivable. He was your account receivable. He was your asset. All account receivable are considered to be asset. But since you have received the amount, no matter it is check or cash, but he had paid. After receiving the amount, he is no more your account receivable, no more your asset. Asset has been decreased. Decrease in asset should be mentioned on credit side. So you will name Javed on credit side. Though he is your account receivable, account receivable are asset. Asset should be written on debit side, but you are writing on credit side due to the fact that you have received the amount. Asset is decreased. Decrease in asset is being mentioned on credit side. How much amount was of check? Receive a check from Javed rupees 12,000. Amount of check is 12,000. So you will write 12,000 in front of check 12,000. And what is next? He is saying less 5% cash discount. Alright guys, it's a cash discount. It means amount which was receivable is 12,000, but a discount of 5% is also being offered. So what you will do? The amount of check would be the final amount. You were supposed to receive 12,000 from Javed, and at the time of receiving cash you have given a discount of 5%. It is called cash discount. You, the person who will decide whether to give discount or not. As you have permitted, as you have allowed the discount, it means you will receive less amount. Total amount was 12,000. We can mention over here. And on spot, at the time of receiving cash, you have given the discount of 5%. If you are giving the discount, it means it is an expense for you. Expenses should be mentioned on debit side. So you will mention discount on debit side, and you can write it is discount allowed. It's an expense. How much discount? 5%. So what you will do, you will calculate 5% on 12,000. You will write 12,000 on calculator, multiply by 5 divided by 100. This way you will calculate the discount. Now let me know how much amount would be written on check. Javed had come and he was paying, and you were receiving the amount. Total amount was 12,000 on spot at the time of receiving cash. Cash discount is mean discount given on cash. At the time of receiving cash, you have given him 5% discount. Discount was 600. Total amount was 12,000. So how much amount would be written on check? More than 12,000 or less than 12,000? It's a matter of common sense. Whenever you will discuss the discount will cause to decrease the amount of cash. So here you will calculate the amount of check. Total amount was 12,000 and you have given 600 as discount. So final amount would be 11,400. It was entry number 8. And as you know that this entry has not been posted to the ledgers, so we will post them. Rule is same, cash and discount, debit, do debit. There are 3 elements in this entry, but we are associated with only 2 elements, cash and discount. So we will post step by step. Cash is debited 11,400. Please let me make the space for it. Alright guys, I was making the space for it, it was very easy to write this entry over here. But aesthetic sense will pressurize you or will force you to make accurate working. After 6, entry was entry number 8, so I have created a space for 8. We are mentioning date 8 over here, and what 8 is saying, we have two elements to be posted, cash and discount. First we will post cash, which is debited 11,400. You will go to the debit side of the cash and will write 11,400. Now see its reference, which is Javed. You will mention Javed over here to Javed. Now see its date, which is 8, and we have already written the date. Now see what is next in the 8th entry. There were two elements, cash has already been posted, second element is discount. Now at this stage, just see reference of cash is Javed and reference of discount is also Javed, because opposite side of cash and discount we have to see, and at that side only Javed is mentioned. It means for both cash and discount same reference and same date. That is why we can use the same line. Discount is debited 600, so we will use this line, same line, and discount was how much? 600, so you will write discount over here as 600. All right, our problem has been solved, and I just want to repeat it why we are using the same line, because reference of 600, reference of 11,400 is same, which is Javed, date is same, so we have used the same line. In this way our entry number 8 has been completed, and in other meanings that missing entry, if it is completed, all entries are now completed, and we were willing to calculate the amount which we are supposed to write on 30th entry. For this we will calculate the balance, and the balance, how would we calculate? As we have described it earlier, you should have the knowledge. Please repeat the process of balancing cash book. Okay, hopefully someone would have in his mind, there are 3 steps. First step is to calculate sum of all amounts present on debit side of the cash book. I will take help from the Excel and will ask Excel to sum all amounts present on debit side of the cash book. Here I have taken the help, and total had arrived 147,900. Same you will do for the credit side of the cash book. There you will calculate the sum. I will take help from Excel, and what you people will do, you will write these 3 amounts on your calculator and will get the sum. Here is sum on credit side, this is sum on debit side. Step number 2, make comparison. 147 here, 98 here, 98 is here, and what amount is the larger amount, 147 or 98? Larger amount is 147. You will write total of debit side, you will write at total of debit side this 147,900, and you will write on credit side of the cash same amount 147,900. Now there will be an objection. You will say total of debit side was 147 and you have written 147, okay, acceptable, but total of credit side was 98 and you have written 147,000. This is a matter of balancing. You will create balance, and how would you create balance? Any amount which is less than of this 147,900 you will write over here and will name it for like balance. And you are calculating this balance temporarily because there is one entry which is still not completed. Here you will write balanced and it would be temporary balance. And how you will say how much amount is less than 147,900? For this you will take the difference of smaller amount and the larger amount. For this you will subtract smaller amount from the larger amount. Larger amount was 147,900 and smaller amount was 98,000, with which you will get the balance. Now let's come to the entry. This was the entry for which what we are doing right now. Bank to cash amount is to be deposited into the bank. But how much amount? Let's see what question was saying. Deposited in bank excess of cash over 21,400. That means amount which is more than 21,400, that amount would be deposited into the bank. So how would we know? We have concluded that amount right now is 49,900. How would we know? This was the amount which we have received totally, and this was the amount which was paid. So we have subtracted amount paid from the amount received. It means this would be cash in hand. Now our condition can be fulfilled. Total cash in hand is 49,000, and we are asked to deposit amount which is more than 21,400. So here we will calculate that amount. Now write over here how much cash is in hand. That is 49,900, or amount mentioned is 21,400 in the book. You will mention over here 21,400. Now let me know how much amount is more than 21,400 if you have cash 49,400. For this you will just subtract 21,400 from 49,900. 49,900 minus 21,400, you will get the amount which is more than 21,400. So this is the amount which is needed to be deposited into the bank. So the missing figure or missing amount we have calculated, we had already mentioned question mark over here. You will write what? The amount which we have calculated is 28,500. You will mention 28,500 on the debit side, and same amount will be posted on credit side. In this way 28,500 on credit side as well. In this way all entries have been completed, but here you can see green signal is not present. It means this entry has not been posted in the ledger. For this purpose, what you will do, you will calculate, you will see there are two elements in this entry, bank and cash, and both are associated with the cash book. So we will post step by step. First element is bank, where bank is debited by 28,500. We will go to the debit side and will post 28,500 on debit side. Now see the reference, what is written at the opposite side, to cash. So you will mention here to cash. Now see its date, which is 31, I hope, no, 30. So you will write date over here 30. In this way half part is completed, bank is debited. Second element is cash, cash is credited 28,500. So you will go to the credit side of the cash and will write 28,500. all right, and now you will see the reference is bank is written on the opposite side of the cash book. So you will use bank as reference. By bank you will write over here, and entry number is 30, I remember. You will write date over here. In this way, what have you done? A missing figure has been completed. This was 28,500. This way you have completed your entry, and now both elements have also been posted. Entry number 30 is completed. Mark it as it has been done. Now since amount has been posted, and for this purpose, that temporary balance we will remove now, and we will calculate balances again. Calculation of balances is procedure is same. You will calculate sum of all the amounts present on debit side of the cash book, and this balance has already been written, 147,900, and you will calculate sum of all the amounts present on credit side of the cash book. Now balance is 126,500 because an additional amount of 28,000 is posted on the credit side of the cash book, which was entry number 30, and it was not posted, and after calculation of balance we have posted this amount. So balance has been changed, 126,500. How would you calculate the balance? Total of debit side is for 147, total of credit side is 126. Step number 2, make comparison. 147 is the larger amount. We have posted 147 on total of the both sides of the cash column. While you will say the total of credit side is 126,500, why we have written 147? So what you will do, any amount which is less than 147,000 in credit side of the column of cash book, you will write over here, which is would be the balance. How would we know how much amount is less? You will subtract smaller total from larger total. Larger total is 147. You will subtract 126,500 from it. Here you will get the lesser amount, and this would be considered as balance of cash. One who wants to understand it again, I will repeat same procedure for the bank. First step is what? Total of both sides. You will calculate sum of debit side of the bank. All the amounts present on debit side, you will calculate sum, and I am taking help from Excel. This is the sum of debit side, and same you will do sum of credit side of bank column. All the amounts present in credit side of the bank, you will calculate sum. I am taking help from the Excel. Here you have two totals. Sum which is on debit side is 117, and sum on credit side is 56. Second step is to make comparison. We have seen 117 is the larger amount. So what you will do, on total of debit side of the bank, you will write this total 117,700, and you will write the same total on credit side of the bank. Okay, here will be the objection. Total of credit side of the bank we have calculated, that was 56, while we have written 117. Now how could it be possible? It is the method of balancing. What next step you will do, amount which is less than 117, you will write over here and will name it as a balance. How would we calculate amount which is less than 117? You will subtract smaller amount, smaller total from the larger total. Larger total is 117, and you will subtract 56,000, which is smaller total. Here you have got the balance. All right. So these are the answers of cash and bank, and answer are usually given in the book. Let's check it out. Hopefully it would be good for us. 21,400 is balance of cash. Let's check it out. I have mentioned above. Here our answer, cash balance 21,400, and we have balance 21,400. This is balance of bank. Let's check it out. And second balance is 61700, and we have 61700. It means all journal entries are corrected, and these entries are rightly posted in cash book. Amount total is calculated accurately. That is why our balance is corrected. Hopefully you people have enjoyed, like I have enjoyed, solving long question. Though I'm a teacher, but I love my passion, I love my profession, and I really enjoy when there are long term question, long time question, or when there is so many complications, so many entries. It is enjoyable. Why? Because chances of mistake is very high. Look, you can see that there were so many amounts we have written. It was possible to write less amount, it was possible to write more amount, it was possible to post on the wrong side, but thankfully everything has been accurately and correctly posted. This is so good for us. Hopefully you people have understood everything which has been taught to you. We have solved this illustration number 5, and we will meet again for the solution of any new question. Up till then, please take care of yourself, and I'm requesting you to pray for me as well. We will surely meet again, inshallah. Up till then, please take care of yourself. Thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.